It was Monday, December 14th, 2018 to be exact. I was in my room studying for my final exams as it was finals week at my school during this time. My dad's phone began ringing, and as soon as he answered and he got the news, he immediately started crying. He ran to the restroom, and my mom followed him to see what was wrong. My room is located close to the restroom, so I was able to hear what was going on. I heard my dad say, "Se fue," meaning she's gone. My dad had just gotten the news that my grandma had passed away. As soon as I heard my dad say that, tears started flowing out of my eyes and my world went blank. I did not know what to do. I remember getting up from my desk and going over to the restroom. I saw my parents hugging each other while crying. Even though I could hear what was going on, my parents were not aware that I had already heard the news. Once they saw me at the door, they both came up to me and came up to me and said, "Tu abuelita se nos fue, pero está en un lugar más mejor," meaning, "Your grandma has passed away, but she's in a better place now." I felt somber. My parents were talking to me, but I was in another world. I did not want to assimilate that my grandma had passed away. My grandma was from Aguascalientes, Mexico, but during this time, she was in California spending time with my dad's siblings. She was supposed to be traveling down back to Aguascalientes that same week she passed away. My family and I were also supposed to travel to Aguascalientes that same week to spend the holidays with her. Unfortunately, this was not the case. We would no longer be traveling to Aguascalientes to spend the holidays with her, but rather we would be traveling to Aguascalientes for her funeral. Nothing would be the same. After my grandma passed away, many other challenges were brought upon, but I was able to get through those extremely tough times and keep going. And for that, I am proud of myself. Ever since I was a little girl, I can remember traveling down to Aguascalientes every December to spend the holidays over there. My family and I would stay at my grandma's house instead of our house because we wanted to keep her company, as my grandpa was no longer by her side, and we knew the holidays were hard for her without my grandpa. Every single morning when I would wake up, my grandma would give me la bendición, meaning a blessing. Although my siblings and I are not my grandma's only grandchildren, I believe she had a special connection with us. My family was the one who was always there for her when my other uncles and aunties weren't. After my grandma's passing, I set goals for myself that didn't think would be possible. I wanted to make her proud even though she was no longer here. Throughout my years in high school, I was presented with various amazing experiences. For instance, I was able to travel to Atlanta, Georgia because of a club I was in, DECA. Those experiences would only make me more proud of myself because I didn't allow myself to drown in that hole after my grandma's passing. One other goal I had set up for myself is that I wanted to be top 10 of my graduating class. It was not easy, but with hard work and dedication, I was able to achieve this goal. I was also presented with the opportunity to be a class officer. I know my grandma would have been proud of me. My grandma's passing was one of the worst things I've ever gone through. But this memoir is more than reliving that day we found out. It's about recognizing the effect of how such a horrific thing can influence one's life and completely shift it. Losing someone that important to me made me feel like my world was crashing down, but I realized I couldn't live with that mentality forever. I knew that not only did I need to get better for myself, but for my family as well, especially for my dad, and he has just lost his mother. No matter how deep you think you are in a hole, you will always find a way out. Grieving my grandmother's death changed me forever. I had to learn how to live without her. Losing her, in a sense, made me a stronger person. Once that realization hits you that that person really is gone forever, you just have to assimilate it and learn to accept it. But part of learning how to deal with grief is realizing that in the wake of such an incredible loss, we can be transformed into stronger, better people than we were before experiencing the loss. It took me a long time to accept it, but here we are today. In hopes that it will resonate with someone in the future. Abuelita María, te amo y te extraño muchísimo.